Hi class, this is Professor Harmony Kim who will teach Buddhism and Science in Winter 2022. Before we study Buddhism and Science, we will go over the syllabus together. The course code is BMN 520. The title is Buddhism and Science. This course is a 4-credit unit. And this course is designed by online platform. This course introduces a study of Buddhist teachings regarding the mind, its relationship to the body, and the role of meditation in comparison with Western science. As an interdisciplinary approach, the Buddhist interpretation and the scientific understanding is an attempt to locate the similarities and differences between the two fields by investigating the early Buddhist teachings with scientific evidence. Meditation is examined in the context of scientific evidence. Upon completion of this course, each student will be able to understand the Buddhist teachings in early Buddhism in the context of morality. Students can interpret the Buddhist teachings in early Buddhism in relation to impermanence. Students can understand the scientific background of metaphysical research. Also, you can examine and compare the similarity between the early Buddhist teachings with scientific approach. Also, students can interpret the significance of meditation with scientific evidence. The instruction will consist of lectures, reading assignment, class discussions, and handouts. Classroom questions and discussions are strongly encouraged. Other instructional techniques may also be employed, such as audio-visual presentations, guest speakers, critical thinking exercise, etc. Each class will have a lecture on the assigned chapters. Students are expected to read the material related to the class. The instructor will demonstrate problems and case studies in class. Students may work alone or in groups to do assigned problems in class. This instructional delivery is mixed between the on-site classroom and online education. Actually, this course is designed for online platform. It is impossible to conduct group discussion or guest speaker invitation. Mainly, you will watch lecture video, and at the end of a lecture video, you need to solve a couple of questions, and you need to send the answer of these quiz questions to my email address. I will explain in detail how you can send weekly based quiz to my email address a little bit later. The required textbook in this course is Pali Canon. So, Anguttara Nikaya, Majjhima Nikaya, Digha Nikaya, and Samyutta Nikaya. I will introduce the name of sutra from this Nikaya, and then you can access easily this sutra by internet. This is my email address, and my name is Harmony Kim, and students must send the above email weekly base for your assignment. You need to write down the subject title of the email, such as BMN 520, assignment on date. This week is January 3rd. Or you can write down the number of week, but school prefer using date to the number of week because some week is holiday, so some students have some confusion the counting the exact number of week. So we go by date. So whenever you send the email, there's a subject title. Subject title, you have to write down course code BMN 520, assignment, or quiz on date. If you have any question in addition to the assignment, please send me email with the subject title Additional Questions of BMN 520 on the email. So if you have an additional question, you can write down BMN 520 additional question in subject title of the email. Just in case if students keep asking the information which have been clearly addressed in the lecture video, I might not respond or delay replying. It is possible to reach me by email at any time, and you will get a response from me within 48 hours during weekdays. The course schedule might be a little bit modified, and I will notify students of any change. Please make every attempt to be in class during all sessions. Regular and punctual attendance, as well as active student participation, is an important part of a student's education. Attendance is strictly monitored. How I'm going to monitor your attendance, I will explain a little bit later. All assignment and or additional assignment must be completed according to professor's guideline. Students may not miss more than 70% of class sessions. 3 consecutive absences require formal notice. Participation policy. This is related to how I'm going to monitor your attendance. Each student is expected to be an active participant in submitting weekly based assignment to my email. Your class participation grade will reflect the quality and consistency of your contributions. Mere attendance does not represent participation. Frequent absences will severely impact your participation grade. If you look at the bottom part of this slide, there's a left and right panel. Let's look at the left one first. Here's my email address. Whenever you send the email to me, you need to include your email address in CC. So you can hold the copy of your email. Subject title is BMN 520 quiz and date, or assignment and date. And this week, the assignment is writing your official name in text body of the email. So your name start with a last name, comma, followed by first name. And you need to send email including your official name to me. That is the assignment of this week. The following week, in other words, week 2, you send assignment to me as well as to your email address, subject title, BMN 520, quiz or assignment, and date. January 10th is the next Monday. It is very important to write down course code, such as BMN 520 in subject title, because I am teaching other courses. Therefore, without course code, it's very hard for me to put your name in proper course. So in subject title, you need to write down BMN 520 / or comma and quiz or assignment with date. Next Monday, at the end of lecture video, I will put a couple of questions. You need to solve those questions and send all the answers to my email. So next week, your assignment, you write down your official name again, and you need to write down the answer of a quiz. Quiz 1, probably the answer will be 1 out of A, B, C, D. Quiz 2, also you write down A or B or C or D. In this way, week 3 also will be same format of week 2. So every week you need to send assignment to me, and Whenever you send assignment, in a body text, you need to start to write your official name, such as last name, comma, followed by first name. Then you write down only answer of quiz question. When I receive your email, that will count your attendance. This week, there's no quiz question at the end of lecture. So all you can do is just write down your official name and send your email to me. Then I will count your attendance of first week. Academic integrity. Each student must do your own work. Copying assignment will be considered cheating and all parties will be penalized. Please do not wait until the last minute to do your assignment. I encourage students to discuss their classwork and the assignment together. You learn a lot from your peers since you go through the same learning process. However, after the discussion, each of you should work on your own assignment independently from scratch. One learns by doing, not by working together to print 2 copies. This is not learning. And this content is mixed condition between on-site and online education. There is no group work in online education. So you will not have a discussion with your classmate. If any part of an assignment represents the words and ideas of others, you must cite those sources. Academic dishonesty includes, but is not limited to, asking a tutor or a friend to complete the portion of your assignment, hiring a reviewer to make extensive revisions to your assignment, submitting work originally submitted by another student as your own, using information from online resources without properly citing your source, copying any portion of a word or idea from any other source you do not cite. You will have 2 exams. One is midterm, the other is lecture final. In the 2 exams, you are required to write down a short essay. And when you write your short essay, then you need to cite the source. If you quote directly others' opinion, then you need to provide source. Or if you just borrow others' idea, so you quotate indirectly, then you also need to provide source. Otherwise, you are committing academic integrity. Assignment or quizzes will be announced through lecture videos. The due of each assignment is until Sunday midnight of the following week because this course is supposed to open on Monday. All work must be turned in on the due date by email. No late submission will be accepted. I am giving 1 week to complete assignment, that is, to solve quizzes. 1 week is more than enough. And some students send me message like this: I'm sorry, I'm late to submit blah 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 because something like that. That might not work out. So no late submission will be accepted. When you send the assignment or quiz weekly base, you must put your email on CC so that you can keep the copy of every email of submitting the assignment. In the body of the email, you need to write down your official name, last name, comma, followed by first name. Please do not swap the position between last name and first name. Your last name should come before the first name. Because many students use their email name different from official name. So I have to stick to your official name, not based on your email address. Some students do not use their official name to generate email account. So I do not go by email account. I will always check option name written in body of the text of the email. All essay assignment must be typed, especially in midterm and lecture final. For essay question, you need to write down short essay. At the time, you need to be typed, not handwriting. How can your performance be evaluated? Homework assignment or homework quiz, 30%. Midterm, 30%. Final exam, 40%. Total, 100%. If your performance belongs to 90 to 100%, you will get A grade. Between 80 to 89, B. 70 to 79, C. 60 to 69, D. Below 60 will be F grade. This is overall course schedule of BMN 520 Buddhism and Science. Today, January 3rd, we go over syllabus, and the rest part of this lecture, I will briefly introduce the Buddhism and Science. And third week, January 17, Martin Luther King holiday, and February 21st, President Day, also holiday. So you have a holiday twice until the end of this course. And the course schedule can be a little bit modified depending on the situation. One more time, at the end of this lecture, you need to send me the email. Here's my email address, and also send email to your email address. In first week, subject title BMN 520 January 3rd. Quiz, or you can write down BMN 520 January 3rd assignment. Please write down your option name. Please do not swap the position between last name and first name. Do not use the nickname when you submit the assignment. Sending me the email of your official name will be counted your attendance of the first week of BMN 520. If you use your nickname, your attendance cannot be counted. You must use official name. The due of first week assignment is January 9th, this coming Sunday, midnight. Okay, for the rest part of this video, I will briefly introduce Buddhism and Science. In order to study Buddhism and Science, first, let's look at the scientific technology used for interpreting Buddhist teachings. According to the information processing approach, mental processes operate like a computer with information flowing through a series of storage areas. Thinking is simply the processing of information, the information processing approach. So mental processes are similar to the operation of a computer. Information progresses through a cognitive system in a series of stages, one step at a time. Your sensory organs sensitize the stimuli from the environment, and then your brain process, and then you express the information or stimuli you receive from input. So in computer, data input and black box may be CPU, and then output come out. So computer model, it has sensory register, input device, and then short-term memory, central processing unit, CPU, and then long-term memory, hard drive storage. So computer system pretty much analogous to cognitive process of a human being. By understanding how the brain works, we can better understand how and why we behave as we do because the brain is involved in all aspects of behavior. Brain lesion, progesterone emission tomography, PET scan, functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI, event-related potential technique, ERP. Through these techniques, neuroscientists facilitate to understand the human mind. Let's look at brain lesion. There is a person whose name is Pinus Gage. And this person worked in railroad company. When he worked, there is some accident occur, so iron bar penetrate throughout his brain. Fortunately, he recovered within 4 months, but had some personality changes. After accident, he changed. He is the same person, but his mental state changes after accident in a way that he became hostile, impatient, and looks like the same person, but he is not no longer same the person whose name is Gaze. So brain lesion can change human personality. Destruction of a tissue makes possible to examine cognitive process. After World War II, people with war-related injuries showed very specific language disorder. Researchers find similar patterns in the relationships between brain damage and cognitive deficit, although people spoke different language. This technique facilitates understanding the organization of the brain. In other words, a certain region of the brain be responsible for certain task, mental task. But researchers cannot associate a cognitive deficit with a specific brain structure because the damage from brain lesions is not limited to a specific area. Then, advanced neuroscience technology developed. One of them is computed tomography, CT scan. CT uses a refined version of X-ray equipment. CT scan provides structural information, but it cannot allow us to see brain activity. You might be familiar with the X-ray. X-ray is electromagnetic waves of a very short wavelength. From X-ray, a dense structure absorbs the X-ray most and so appear as a light area. Hollow air-containing organs which absorb the X-ray less show up as a dark area. What X-rays do best is visualize hard, bony structure and locate abnormal dense structure such as tumor in the lungs. CT is a refined version of X-ray equipment. So, as a patient is slowly moved through the donut-shaped CT machine, its X-ray tube rotates around the body. Its beam is confined to a slice of the body about as thick as a dime, and this results in a detailed cross-sectional pictures of each body region scanned and reconstructed. CT scans are at the forefront for evaluating most problems that affect the brain and abdomen. Another scanning technology called PET positron emission tomography, PET scan. PET scan excels in observing metabolic process, not for structural damage, because PET scan measure blood flow with a radioactive chemical just before the person performed a cognitive task. The chemicals, such as radioisotopes, travel through the bloodstream to the part of the brain that are activated during the cognitive task. So when you read the newspaper, certain part of the brain region is highly activated compared to when you sleep. In those regions, the radioisotope can provide a signal, so we can understand that, certain region of the brain is participated in reading. For PET scan, a special camera makes an image of accumulated radioactive chemical throughout the brain. By examining this image, determine which part of the brain are involved in the cognitive task. PET scan used to study such cognitive processes as attention, memory, mental imagery, and reading. PET scan requires at least 30 seconds to produce data. PET scans are much less precise than fMRI technique in identifying the exact time sequence of cognitive task. So here is CT or PET scan machine, and PET scan excels in observing metabolic processes. And as a radioisotope are observed by the most active cells, high energy gamma rays are produced. So from PET scan, you can see inside the brain, and these different color differentiate the highly activated region or less active region depending on your cognitive task. So PET scans, the greatest value has been its ability to provide insight into brain activity in people affected by mental illness, stroke, Alzheimer's disease, and epilepsy. Determine which area of the healthy brain are most active during certain tasks, such as speaking, listening to music, or figuring out a mathematical problem. PET scan provide evidence of the functions of a specific brain region. Another technique for brain image is functional magnetic resonance image, fMRI. fMRI measures the amount of oxygen in the blood in various brain regions. Based on the principle that oxygen-rich blood is an index of brain activity, brain always needs oxygen. So certain regions of the brain require high concentration of oxygen, means that brain region is highly activated for certain cognitive tasks. This technique developed during 1990s. In terms of PET scan, radioisotope need to be injected inside the brain, but fMRI can measure the brain activity that occurs fairly quickly. But fMRI is less invasive with no injection and no radioactive material. fMRI can measure brain activity that occurs fairly quickly, in about half a second. fMRI cannot identify that you actually look at the world before you pronounce the word, when you were reading the word. It means the outcome from fMRI is a little bit lag behind a certain time. PET scan fMRI techniques are too slow to provide precise information about the timing of brain activity. A neuron activated B neuron send signal to C neuron, but when we use PET or fMRI technique, we might only capture information transfer occur from B to C nerve cell. We might not catch it start from A nerve cell. So every technique has some pitfall, but these techniques are wonderful because before 1990s, we do not have even these kinds of the advanced technology. Therefore, we really do not know what's going on inside the human brain. So again, this is for fMRI. And then you can see like this image. So you can see what kind of activity occur for certain cognitive task in which brain region. So this is highly oxygen-rich area for certain cognitive task. And also this on someone's brain inside, and then this is a highly active region and the less active region. Because the red color implies oxygen-rich area. This is less oxygen-rich area, means less active part of the brain for certain cognitive tasks. One more technique called event-related potential, ERP. ERP records the tiny fluctuations in the brain's electrical activity in response to a stimulus. For ERP, place electrode on a person's scalp. Since the skull and the scalp can conduct electricity, the electrodes accurately pick up the brain's electrical activity underneath the skull. ERP cannot identify the response of a single neuron, but can identify electrical changes over a very brief period. ERP provides a precise picture about changes in the brain's electrical potential during a cognitive task. One thing that makes the ERP valuable tool for cognitive psychology is that the response consists of a number of different components, which occurs at different delays after a stimulus is presented. For example, watch a video that lasts 1 second. One video shows opening one's mouth. A second video shows closing one's mouth. The electrodes are fastened to someone's scalp, and that person watches numerous presentations of both the mouth opening and mouth closing. ERP provides a change in the brain's electrical potential while people perform a cognitive task. The human brain would respond more dramatically when the person watches mouth open than when person watches a mouth close. Why your brain responds differently to these two situations? Because a mouth opening movement is more important because it signals that a person is about to say something. So you need to be more attentive. Whereas it is less important to notice that someone has finished talking, such as closing the mouth. The exaggerated ERP reflects this attentiveness. So place electrode on the scalp and then measure the brain rhythm. In brain rhythm, we call that EEG and a brain wave. There are several kinds of waves: alpha wave, beta wave, theta, and delta. And in terms of alpha wave, are monitored when you awake but relaxed. Beta waves can be detected when people awake and alert. Theta waves can be found common in children. Delta waves appears when people have in deep sleep. So all these neuroscience technology facilitate understanding human mind. So I will introduce some neuroscientific data discovered by using this kind of technique when you study memory, attention, or meditation. I told you at the end of syllabus how you can produce assignment. So here's my email address. Put your email account in CC and subject title BMN 520 January 3rd. Write down your option name. Do not swap the position last and first name. Do not use nickname. Sending me the email of your official name will be counted your attendance of the first week of this course. The due of this assignment is January 9th, midnight. So your assignment of first week appears like this. Here's my email address, CC, your email address, subject, BMN 520, January 3rd, assignment. Please go by date rather than the number of week. And this week assignment is just writing your last name, comma, followed by first name. Must be official name, not nickname, so that I can generate a student roster and also you can get attendance of this week. And you might have some question regarding midterm and lecture final, especially for essay question, and I will provide detailed information when you are ready to take the exam. So please do not worry about essay question. I will provide enough time for you to produce a short essay. This is the end of the first week lecture. Thank you.